Anyone who wants to be in on this should come in on this. I'm taking this position. Alright guys, Papa Pepper back once again at the Abundant Harvest Homestead. Today I wanted to talk about people. There's such a wide variety of ways people can choose to behave, and I put that choice in there because I've seen people do some pretty interesting things in their life. There are those who are really set up well, kind of with everything available to people to succeed, and just completely fall on their face for like decades. And then there's those who are just, their surroundings, their environment, their upbringing, the family they come from, there's sometimes where they're just, there's like everything is going against them, and yet they overcome. So as much as we can be products of our environment, there is definitely a lot of freedom for us to choose how to live. And recently I'd caught a comment too from an old friend of mine who his biggest problem in his life would be himself, and he's the one who constantly gets in his own way and really cripples himself, and that can be dangerous, obviously, but down inside of our humanity we each run the risk. So one individual in particular recently stuck out because of a number of situations that was going on, and it blew me away. So as you guys know, we just started the calendar year of 2020 on Earth as people measure time. And last year, early in the year, I released my first book, which was a 50-day devotional on eschatology, the study of end times as revealed in the Bible. Got that done probably last February. And then before the close of the year, we actually took a story that my dad would tell my children, and we decided to animate the thing, kind of, well, not animate, but put it to images. So my daughter took all these pictures and we put it together as a book. Both of these are available on Amazon, but they're also available in our Homesteaders Co-op store. And one thing that happens is when we sell them directly to people through our Homesteaders Co-op store, we can actually sell them for less and pocket more money off of the sale than if Amazon sold them for us. So that's pretty cool. But one thing we do then is we also offer an autographed copy for $1 more. And the cool thing about that is, as these books here began to sell, that everyone who came through the Homesteaders Co-op store for quite a while was choosing to pay that extra $1 for each of the books that they were picking up. So Pinky Pepper and I would go to this cover page and we'd just write, sign our autographs in there, and then mail it out. And it's just, one way where a simple thing can make the book a little more special for the recipient, but also, dollars add up over time. And it's just crazy that me and my daughter essentially scribbling on a sheet of paper could generate an income for the family. It's not a lot, but it's something. And even some of the people who picked it up, like Southern Blessed Homestead, they'd had their first live stream a bit ago. They'd picked up an extra autographed copy that they did as a giveaway. So while they were doing their live stream, they took one of the books that my family made, 3 generations of us, from my dad down to my daughter, and gave it away to one of their subscribers, one of their viewers in the audience at the time. So that was pretty cool. But one thing that happened is, as I said, we offer up 2 different options. You can get just a standard copy of the book or an autographed copy. And everyone was selecting the autographed one. And then one guy, he selected the regular one, and he ordered 3 copies. and he said he would like them all autographed, please. I thought, well, that's, kind of interesting. I'm like, obviously, in my mind, I'm like, somewhere through this, something happened. Either, he didn't understand how to do it, wasn't figuring something out. There was something like, but he wanted the autographed copies. He didn't pay the extra $1 each, so I have an opportunity then on my end to either just do it, which is what we did. I said, okay, well, for some reason, that extra $1 didn't come across 3 times for these 3 autographs. That's fine. The guy wants these, so, he wants some autographs, so we'll sign them. So we signed them. And we mailed them out. A while later, we got a letter in the mail from the man. I'll call him Mr. Anderson. And he sent a letter, but also with that letter, he sent $3. And the reason he sent $3 is he said he couldn't figure out how to add an extra $1, to his order for autographed copies. And it reminds me of a couple stories because in the grand scheme of things, as I said, $1 is not a lot, but they add up. And $3 in the grand scheme of things is not a lot. But if you remember, there's a story about Abraham Lincoln. I was not there, so I don't know if it was true. About how somebody gave him the improper change. And he had 2 extra cents that he wasn't supposed to have somehow in a business ordeal, business thing. And I forget if he was the purchaser or if he was the one who sold somebody. But either way, it wound up where he owed somebody 2 cents. So the story is that he walked quite a ways to give that person the 2 pennies. Now, of course, back then, 2 pennies was worth a lot more than 2 pennies are these days. People still like to give their 2 cents. But it still is just kind of a tiny amount. Interestingly enough, now Mr. Lincoln is the one with his head on the penny, And it kind of reminds me, too, of the widow's mites, where, a widow in Scripture gave a very small amount in the eyes of man. But what she gave was more, really, than everyone who was making a big celebration, making a big, a lot of pomp, a lot of, hey, look at me, ding, 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 look at everything I'm putting in. And that's why our Messiah pointed out to his disciples and said, look, she's giving more than everyone. Even though in the eyes of man it was small. So, I don't know what $3 means to Mr. Anderson. But I do know that if you look at kind of like the deal that we had going, hey, we'll give these books, or for an extra $1 you can get an autograph. He says, well, I want the autograph. So wasn't able to get that $3 across through the online interaction. So he took the time out of his life, took the money out of his wallet. He said he wanted to make that right. He wanted to make sure that he went and upheld his end of the bargain. And that really blessed me. But then also, he mentioned that the books were being given to some local teachers and donated to some schools. So again, it's like, it's just not even for him, which takes things to another level. So just appreciated that. And, whether it's $3, whether it's 2 cents, if you can trust somebody with $3, you can probably trust them with 300 or 3,000, But if you can't trust a guy with like 2 cents, there's not much I'd want to give him or entrust into his care or his stewardship. So just some food for thought about being people of integrity, people of your word, and just doing things the right way, because there's a lot of people who are selfish and greedy, deceitful. It's common. And that's why, unfortunately, when somebody just does the right thing, it sticks out these days as being so peculiar, so odd, enough that it catches your eye. So, Mr. Anderson, I wanted to thank you. That is crazy. And then we've also got something else I want to show you guys. So, guys, periodically we get to interact with different subscribers. We've met some people. We've got some letters from some people. Had some stuff like that go on. And then also, sometimes they send us packages. And recently we got one of those packages. Now, this same person back in May had sent us a letter and the name kind of sounded familiar, so I just recently found this letter, but I got a little bit of, backstory from that too, where our friend Patricia in Tennessee had said, "Thank you so much for sharing your catnip with me. I have it in some seeds planted." So the backstory is that I think she was looking for some catnip to grow, and we actually ripped some out of our garden because it's a perennial plant, split it up, and then was able to send her some. But one other cool thing that came out of this letter from back in May is she said, "I've learned so much from your videos, I just can't watch the snake ones. I do try to watch them, but she has a huge fear of this animal and just gives them a good distance." But she does say our other animal videos and garden videos are very helpful. She says, "Don't be surprised if you receive a package from me in the near future." And we also weren't surprised when it took a couple months. So we got this package, and there was a letter, and the letter says, "Dear Pepper family, I started making and gathering these gifts back in summer. That's why some of the notes may not make sense now. I hope you enjoy them anyway. Love and prayers from your subscriber PWells68." And also comments, if there's anything you won't use or can't use, please pass it on. And that's one thing we were discussing recently as a family anyway, is that kind of when people spend their time and their efforts to bless you with something, but it means a lot to them, and when they give it to you, it's maybe something you may never use. What do you do? You don't want to hurt their feelings by just kind of saying, "Oh, well, that's nice, but no thank you." But you've got to kind of be able to do something with it. So I appreciate that she kind of had the foresight in that, and I'm not aware of anything we're not going to use, but it's just nice that people would kind of consider that too. So in here, some of this looks kind of self-explanatory. Blue hats. This one looks like a blue hat for you. Huh? What do you think? Let's see. That one looks like a blue hat for you. Oh, and there's a number of these. Let's see, that looks like the smallest one.
This one?
Yeah, that could be. This could be you. I'm not sure.
I think it'll fit her just nice. As soon as I can get it over the front here.
Check that out, baby girl. Let me see you, bugger. Look at this little guy. Little blue hat man. How's yours fit, son?
Good.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
You see yourself on there?
Whoa. Well, these will make sense later in the year. Water balloons, guys. Water balloons. You want the water balloons?
I don't know, Dad. We've had some pretty nice warm days.
You're right. You're right. This says a bracelet for Mama and headbands for all the ponytail holders. All right. Oh, darling, I'm gonna try to undo it that way. A bracelet, my lady. And ponytail holders. You guys like making ponytails, right?
Yeah.
What size are some of those? I won't trust those. Whoa!
Thank you. Wow.
Made from combining 3 patterns into one, something to hold your dreads, and a brim to shade your eyes. You can even wet it to stay cool in all this heat. So all this heat was obviously a summer comment. But here's the top, guys, and look at the side. A brim, and there's the side. Whoa. Had to combine 3 patterns. So it does fit over the top of everything. And
that looks so cool.
I'm used to stuffing.
That's really cool. I like all the bright colors she picked for it.
This reminds me of a hat that Pinky Pepper recently made for a guy. He likes to go by the name of Rainbow Man. And he's got some pretty colorful outfits, but he has a son who he wanted a nice little hat that was rainbow for, so Pinky Pepper made one up, and we recently sent that over to him. In fact, by the time this video goes up, he may have an unboxing video. If so, maybe I'll give it a link so you guys can check that out. But he would definitely approve of this hat too.
Papa, you look like a lot of fun.
Yeah, you do.
With that hat on, you do.
Coming from my wife, I'll take that as a compliment.
Mom, look
yeah.
at these.
Oh yeah.
You look like you got ideas with that hat.
Mm-hmm. That's good. And you know what? The cool thing too is there is room for growth. So pretty cool. You want to try it? You said? Yeah.
Or it looks like a really cool brainstorming hat. That's what it reminds me
You
of.
can try it, Sonny boy. There you go, man. Take a peek at the camera.
Those are
Okay, go
cute.
stretch it
I
out.
think little bell pepper
Ah.
could use these. Those are sweet.
Yeah.
Look at that. Hot as a pepper. So, a Food Lion, little insulated, kind of collapsible cooler. It says cool as a cucumber, hot as a pepper. So, keeping cool food cool and hot food hot. That is very cool. So, PWells68, our subscriber, thank you so much. These are definitely
thank
some
you.
cool things. We definitely plan on using them. Definitely appreciate them, and even we understand making things ourselves. In fact, sometimes I just have to make my own hats because the standard issued ones at the store just don't do it. I have a big head anyway, but all this extra padding kind of comes into place. So I've made my own hats. These kids have too, and we know the effort that goes into this. We thank you very much. Anything you guys want to say?
I like the headbands. Yeah. And thank you for the box of stuff.
You all look so cute. Kids.
Yes.
Look at these boys' hats. They look awesome.
A good fit. Will that keep you warm outside when you're doing chores? What kind of animals do you do chores with? You say chickens? You say rabbits? Somebody else wants to say. You say sheep? Sheep. All right, well, guys, hopefully that that story about those $3 does you some good. Good to hear. Good to think about. And we definitely appreciate everyone checking this stuff up. As you can see, we're just a family that enjoys life together, and we enjoy that many of you guys enjoy taking a peek into our life, and we're blessed and pleased to share it with you guys. So we definitely thank you for your time. Anything else, anyone? Peppers out! Say hi, Bill. Hey, Bill. You tell him you're walking now? You tell him you're walking now? Whoa.
Show me feet.
Yeah, I know.
Show me little